Guys, happy Tuesday. What a beautiful sunny day we've got today. Today's topic is a little bugbear for me. Makes me a little bit upset, a little bit angry at the industry. Manipulating people's mindset into thinking they've got to be doing high intensity interval training, or they've got to be getting their heart rate right up every session, or they've got to be sweating and huffing and puffing every single day, or they've got to be training multiple times a day in order to get results. Now, so fundamentally flawed. It's a ludicrous suggestion that the general population needs to do this, and let me come at it from a couple of different angles. Now, you do not need to be doing high intensity interval training every day to achieve results, okay? Now, there's a couple of fundamental flaws with this. Fundamental flaw number one is, if you're doing high intensity interval training correctly, twice a week, 3 times a week maximum is more than adequate for that style of training. It is intense. It is physically challenging. It's challenging mentally. It's uncomfortable to do that type of training correctly. So that's the first angle. The second angle is the risk of fatigue, the risk of niggling injuries, the risk of just like falling out of love with exercise is really high when you're bashing yourself every day. So you absolutely do not need to be doing that every session. Let me tell you one thing. The sign of a good workout isn't that you're sweating. It isn't that you're huffing and puffing. It isn't that you feel exhausted. That is not the sign of a good workout, guys. The sign of a good workout is where you leave feeling energized. You leave feeling like you're progressing. You leave feeling like you've activated and stimulated your tissues enough to continue to move forward, to get them stronger, but you're not beaten, all right? You don't need to be sore after every session in order to get results. That's not the way the human body works, all right? So doing high intensity interval training, monitoring your heart rate every session is just not something you need to be doing in order to achieve results. It really is such a 1%er. And I want to, put it into perspective this way. An elite athlete in their 20s, in their 30s, an elite Olympic athlete, the highest possible achieving athlete, does not do high intensive interval training every day. They absolutely do not monitor their heart rate every day, every session. Like, if an elite athlete trained by the best, someone that's competing at the highest level of the Olympic Games, they don't do it, I don't understand why the members of the general population feel like they need to do it, all right? And the argument is, but how do I know how many calories I've burnt? Calorie expenditure isn't something you should be all that concerned about monitoring. It's calorie intake you should be concerned about monitoring. You should be eating the amount of calories, the amount of energy that your body needs per day, and the exercise expenditure that you're achieving is icing on the cake. That's where you create energy deficit, and that's where you achieve long-term fat loss, right? Let me say that one more time. You shouldn't be focusing on how many calories you're burning. You should be focused on how many calories you're eating. You're clamping that amount of calories you're eating, and the exercise you're doing is icing on the cake. That is what is creating energy deficit. It doesn't matter how many calories you burn in a session. It is irrelevant for 99% of people, right? It's one more thing you've got to worry about and stress about. Clamp your intake, learn how you can moderate your intake, and energy expenditure is not relevant. So, guys, please do not think you have to be doing high intensity interval training every day to achieve weight loss, to achieve any kind of result. It's a little bit silly. No elite facility, no elite coaches, no Olympic level athletes or coaches or strength coaches does it with their clients. So guess what, members of the Gen Pop, you do not need to be doing that style of training. All you need to be doing is getting moving, guys. Like, it's a funny perspective. Like, some of my biggest successful long-term weight loss clients trained in the gym twice a week and walked the other 5 days. That's all they did. They didn't worry about energy expenditure. They didn't worry about doing bloody high intensity interval training. They didn't worry about smashing themselves and sweating and huffing and puffing. All they worried about was getting moving, but also clamping the amount of energy that went into their body. Guys, that is a massive tip, massive tip. Get out of the mindset of worrying about all these numbers and stressing out about it, because it's irrelevant and it will not be psychologically, mentally beneficial for you. It's much more easy, much more beneficial just to worry about getting the fundamentals of eating right down pat first, and then you can start to worry about adding exercise, but do not bloody monitor it. It's irrelevant. All right. Have a wonderful day, guys. See you soon. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy this sunshine. Have a great day.